RECONQUISTA. In short, a name for something you already do, to help us all think about it further. RECONQUISTA is taking back what's yours, reconquest. Operations from reclaiming the wrecks on the battlefield, rebuilding destroyed buildings, or quickly erecting new ones in seized territory. You may ask, why am I making a thing out of all this? Well, I have two good reasons for you. First, putting a name to this makes it easier to not just talk about, but to think about. As I said, these are all things we all already do and have learned to do intuitively, but in watching my replays and others, these types of things seem to be a weakness of mine, and I want to do better. Giving it a title helps me organize my thoughts on the matter, and maybe it will help you. And second, Reconquista is a good word, something to yell that will help you get pumped for some Reconquista, which is silly and fun, but can also aid in kicking you into a specific mindset. Before I go further, I want to let you know that I am not the best at this game. I've played for 10 years against only AI before I found FAF, and my gameplay still suffers from it. Everything I'm about to get into isn't intended to be the definitive answer about Reconquista, but rather my initial thoughts in the hopes of sparking collaborative discussion on the subject matter. Leave your comments on your Reconquista tactics and ideas below, and I'll be sure to make a follow-up video. The main aspects of Reconquista, as I generally try to imagine it, the first one is to rebuild after raids, second one, quickly reclaim abandoned bases, and the third is aggressive reclaim. Well, the first one, rebuilding, the most basic type of Reconquista, is simply rebuilding after a raid, usually mexes. This is what got me started on it all in the first place. A lot of low-level games have players forgetting or ignoring mexes that were destroyed and losing out on all the mass. Rookie mistakes, but easy to remedy. Sometimes during an attack, your enemy will just pull out of an area, because their Reconquista was weak, and consolidate their forces or something. It could be bait for a counterattack, but that's your mass just laying on the field. Seize it. Big point 2, quickly reclaiming abandoned bases. I play a lot of team games, Gap, obviously, and other ones. And from time to time, someone will either rage quit or simply get ejected, die. In a full share game, not really a problem, but in most games, it's a significant power vacuum, and having a plan to plug it as quickly as possible can lead to victory. If things are looking grim for that player, I sometimes keep a transport with engineers ready, or just put engineers in their base. Bonus points for renaming them all Vulture. And the third big one, aggressive reclaim. This one is broadening the scope a little bit, but I like my fun word, Reconquista. We all want the reclaim, and as the game goes on, the fields of mass grow bigger and bigger. Having a solid plan to reclaim it can be simple but tricky. We all know to just get some engineers out there, but we have to weigh the potential loss of build power against the boost in mass. Or you can just use my ultimate try-hard technique here and keep a T1 transport full of T1 NGs with a stored factory attack move order ready to go. Again, I'm not saying I have the best approaches here. There's a lot to weigh with these kinds of decisions, just as the whole rest of the game. Not just the cost of engineers and transports, but the potential reaction of the enemy, if you can even spend that mass, or if not, if you need to deny it from the enemy. Your APM, if by re-expanding you'll overextend your capability to eco or defend your territory. Many factors, and I look forward to developing and expanding on this concept with the community. To start, I want to quickly go over a couple of replays and talk about how Reconquista fits into what was going on there. The first is mine, and the second one is a cast by Willow's Duality. Alright, so I'd initially wanted to use a different replay, but it got corrupted. This is one where I do far worse. As a matter of fact, I lose, and possibly lose the game for everybody. I am the purple air player up here, and I don't get air out early enough. Yeah, I fail in a lot of ways, but that's not what I'm trying to show off here in this Reconquista video. So hopefully we'll go forward here. There goes the second guy. Full share isn't on, so I have 16 mass points that are essentially mine. Take care of this lab rush. And then here is where I kick into Reconquista mode there. It starts out, obviously, just moving the engineers down there. And I want to get... let's see, was this guy? No, this guy was Cybran, so I'm just building, I believe, T2. Yeah, T2 mass extractors on there. And I believe I'm building T2 there. I haven't done the math in my head, but I'm pretty sure that it just would build that faster and then can move on to more things. Now, I don't really have the capacity to spend all this mass, and that was one of my mistakes here, because, surprise, this doesn't go well for me. We lose on account of being down 2 people. And I need to get better at eco, but what we're talking about here is Reconquista. So getting that quick power up, some storage, because I'm having some power trouble with trying to get planes out still. And my plan here was to just spam factories. Now, I don't know if that was the best. I believe I did know that I was low on build power here. So making that little investment into build power, or being able to build more build power, or being able to build more build power, and have that build power do a factory attack move to get that kind of AoE reclaim. Yeah, so here I am building a bunch of factories. Really should have built some more power. Yeah, doing that up here. All these idle guys doing something. Should be putting it into more build power, as far as I know. Let's go back and look at the whole map. Yeah, so I've very quickly expanded here, and I still haven't built up these mexes here, and there's still plenty of reclaim for me to grab. Now, do I have anywhere to put it? Can I store it? Yeah, I can't store a ton. Probably should have built a little bit more storage, just preemptively around these T2. And there is another desync, so I guess that's done with us here. So let me pause that and just kind of give my parting thoughts on here. So this is the type of thing that I'm trying to prepare for. A sudden, the guy next to you is gone. You need to take over his base, take his stuff. And the other replay that I wanted to show you, where the same type of thing happened, the other replay was another gap game. There was some lag, and everybody quit except for myself, one person on my team, and the opposing guy. Now, the guy on the other team, he did great. He quickly expanded to all 6 positions and just started building his economy. He was doing amazing. Like if you look on this score graph at the end of the game, just skyrocketing. I'm literally at the bottom of the score graph, even though I'm trying to expand. Again, it's the same type of thing where I have one whole side to myself. And again, I'm not the strongest on eco, development, that type of thing, but I managed to probe the enemy, find his weakness, and then kill him. I won the game, even though I had the lowest score, and I'm a little proud of that, and I was hoping to show off that. But here, I was trying something else, building all these factories, which I believe would have been a good investment if I did it better, and potentially invested in some different ways. But this is the kind of Type 2 Reconquista. The Type 1, just taking back mass extractors that you have lost, would be like trying to take back this stuff if you're on the front line and you're pushed back, and then you just go back and take it. And concepts like that would probably matter more on different maps where you don't have all of the mass extractors or mass points all around the exact same spot all the time. Yeah. Yeah, going Navy, because that's how I won last time. The enemy commander was hiding in the water, so I rushed him with destroyers and depth charges. Yeah, so the type of situation I'm trying to plan for. And yeah, let's go on to the next replay. So this was a cast that Willow's Duality did And I think he did really good on that part. He actually mentioned Reconquista in the cast, that I was very happy of. I've mentioned the comments on his videos a couple times. But I'm going to highlight a couple of sections here. In the beginning, he went very strong navally, and really did a good push through there. Got a lot of ships there. And the land did a good push as well. And you see he is already landing some engineers to take care of that. Don't need to leave that on the field there. So, yeah. Just going to move out and take care of that. And naval battle goes well here. And I believe they'll be dropping off a batch of engineers to the front there. But we are going to skip forward to the next section. So I'll see you. All right, really quick, I want to give out some props to Chief Sevenleaf. All these were destroyed by Willow earlier, and he's rebuilt on all the factories and rushed to get back out here as quickly as possible. It's definitely an uphill battle, but he did it, and that's quality Reconquista. Alright, so we're a bit later in that same game. I'm not going to share the whole thing. Obviously, the Willow casted that. It was very good. I'd recommend go check it out. I'll put a link in the description. But, so, Willow brought his navy up front and wiped this area out again. And he was bringing engineers in on transports over and over and over again. There's some idle right there. They could be doing something, but that's fine. We only have so much APM. And clearly doing a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, one thing that I think that stood out to me as like an area of improvement was with these guys. These guys were doing great. He brought them in on airdrop as well. But I would have had them build a factory so that they could make more engineers and also get the mass extractor points, start those. Because they pay themselves off really quick, and once you build one, the engineer can go do other stuff, but it can still upgrade itself. So you just sit there and potentially increase its output. And so that would have been really good. Move those in there, maybe drop off one of your RAS SACUs to the front to fortify this area a little bit, because that's the best part about these starting areas where the four mixes are really close to each other, as you can just plop right down there, throw up a couple defenses, really good. Some flak, honestly, probably would have been good. They've been using a lot of gunships, and that AOE can really help out. Anyway, so yeah, Willow did really good. I think he got like a 250,000 reclaim in this because of his aggressive reclaim. His glorious Reconquista did very well there. And as of course, there's always room for improvement. And like I said, that's why I started looking at all this stuff anyway, because I want to get better. So, of course, you have this bird's eye view with the cast. So, not saying I would have done better in the same situation. Just probably would have built some factories, then had one of these stragglers just go around and build all these things. Yep. And flak. See? Coming at it again. Yeah. Alright guys, well thank you for watching my video on Reconquista. I hope it does kind of blossom into a larger discussion on these types of ideas and concepts and ways to do better in this regard, and remember to do better, because like we know what we need to do, but it's important to we remember to do it when we're in the heat of things, right? Anyway, I'm Keel the Quick. Thanks for watching. Don't die.